Hello, I'm Brian Shepard back for more Cinderella Strong Talks. So here's the topic today. I was talking to a woman and she was telling me how growing up she was always heavier. She wasn't the one. She always had like lots of guy friends and but they never really wanted to date her or go out with her, which she kind of understood. But she didn't like it, but she understood it. And it's one of those things where she was always good enough to be a good friend, but never good enough to be the girlfriend. And maybe you can relate to that. Maybe you can't. Maybe you're the one that every guy wanted. But so many women fall into the category of, they're good enough to be a friend, or they're good enough, sorry to say this, they're good enough to sleep with, but never good enough to take out. So what happens when you're in that place? Again, when you talk, we have to talk a lot about value, because your value, how you value yourself, it really sets the pace and sets the tone for how other people will value you. No one can love you more than you love you, and until you love yourself, the love that you want to receive, it will always be cut off, because at a certain point you won't believe that you're worth it. And so you have to begin to love you. And this woman who had been heavy, for a good part of her life, had determined somehow, she told me, somehow she determined that she wanted to make a change. She said she was happy, she was eating, she was enjoying life, being heavy, but she wanted to make a change. And so she went about making this change. And so, of course, she's losing weight. And as she was doing so, men then wanted to start approaching her in a different way. Guys that had been around before, now all of a sudden want to take her out. And this is not something that's specific for her, because quite frankly, I hear this a lot. Like, why is it that these guys that when I was the fat girl, they didn't want to talk to me, but now that I'm getting in shape, now they want to talk to me. And a lot of women get upset about that, because they feel like, well, you were overlooking me then. Now, why do you want to talk to me now? Think about it like this: when you were in a place where you were heavier than you were really designed to be, or where you haven't educated yourself in a way that you perhaps could have educated yourself. When you're in any place that's less than all that you can be, there will be people that don't see you in that place. Here's why. Because you haven't prepared. You haven't prepared yourself in a certain kind of way. And so, yeah, some people will be shallow, and they'll see you superficially, and, oh, you're making physical changes, oh, you're getting smarter, or you have a new look, and you have especially the physical thing. As you change the physical, then there will be people that recognize you. But there is another group of people, and as a man, I'll tell you, there are some men that will see you, and they'll see that you're in process, and they won't want to disturb that, and that's a good thing. Think about yourself, and I love the analogy of flowers, because I think that it says so much. But think of yourself as a seed, being potential. And if I'm a gardener, well, as a gardener, I can see that if I give this seed what it needs, if I nurture the seed and love the seed and put it in the right environment and help cultivate it, this seed will ultimately grow into something, and it will begin on a process that will have a beginning, it will mature, and then it will ultimately have its blossom. As a gardener, I know that. There are so many people, so many men, we're going to talk about men. There are so many men that do not garden. They don't have gardening skills. And trust me when I tell you, you don't want them in the garden of your life, because all they'll do is kill what's inside of you. And so when you're in process, when you're going from your seed potential of being healthy, maybe right now it may be in the shell of being overweight, or it may be in the shell of being sick. It may be in the shell of low self-esteem. But you have seed potential to grow and blossom into something. So if that's where you are right now, there are some men that you don't want around you because they will mess up. They won't help you find the environment that's best for you, the one that's going to nurture you, the one that you're going to be able to draw from so that you can grow healthy and strong. They won't be able to do it. And actually that word gardener, a lot of people talk about getting married, but the definition of a husband is a gardener. Someone that can cultivate and that can grow something, that can bring something from seed potential to maturity. And so many relationships, so many guys don't even know that. They don't even realize that as a man, you have within you the capabilities of growing potential into a full blossom. And so when they don't see you and they don't recognize who you are, that's okay. Because there are gardeners that see seeds not as a chore, not as a task, and not as something that's, just in the way, but they see seeds as potential to cultivate and grow beauty for their life. And so if I can find the environment that works best for you, then I can help be a part of your process of flourishing. And a woman told me, she said, well, yeah, once I grow, then somebody will come right along and they can pick me and have me. Well, no. See, a true gardener doesn't have to pick you, doesn't have to take you out of the environment that's best for you, that cultivates you and helps you grow. A true gardener will see you in your environment, in your talents, in your skills, where in the place where you flourish, and he'll meet you there to help cultivate you and help continue you to stay alive. Because when someone is picked out of an environment, ultimately, yeah, I can take a flower out of the ground and I'll have beauty for a moment. But after a while, that beauty will begin to die off because it's outside of the environment that it's meant for. And so as a gardener, if I can see you in your environment and I know that, you're a great dancer or you're a great artist or you're great at this and you flourish in this environment, instead of telling you and taking you out of that to have you where I am, to help enhance my life, a true gardener will meet you there and help cultivate that soil, help water you, and he'll bring beauty to you where you are. And he'll enjoy you where you are, and his life will be enriched because you're constantly growing and constantly developing and blossoming into all you're destined to be. So if they didn't see you before, but now they see you, recognize that some people will never see the potential of the seed until it becomes a full blossoming flower. And it's no knock against you. It's just where they are in their process of development. They haven't cultivated and developed that skill within themselves. So recognize and see yourself right now in this moment as seed potential for greatness, seed potential for beauty, because you are indeed beautiful, amazing, and strong. And realize that there will be people that come along that will want to pluck you out of your environment. You don't want that. You don't need that. You want your life to be enriched by someone that sees where you're at, sees where you're able to flourish, and can meet you there. So, as you think of yourself today and every day, see that you are that blossoming flower that's in process. And yeah, people will notice that you're becoming more and more beautiful, because you already are beautiful, and there's nothing you can do externally to become more beautiful. You'll just become from the inside out more beautiful. As a seed, same way a seed does. Seed doesn't start off as a flower. It starts off as potential within a shell that has to break free and go through the process. So that's just something I wanted to share with you today. So as you're going through the week and you're changing and people are recognizing it, don't be upset about it. Just enjoy the process, love yourself, and know that you are Cinderella strong. See you next time.